Hi. I'm Valk. Not Valky the Stickman or Uncle Valk, just Valk. And me being on the camera is how you know I'm making something serious. I just came back from vacation. If you can't tell, I have a cold, and it's freaking 2 a.m. here. And yes, they did just cancel Awakening Potential, whatever. Completed with an apology video and all that good stuff. They even said in the video they'll never make a system based on imprints ever again, which is, it's cool. Oh yeah, and there's going to be a 5-star selector and 20 leaves in it as compensation. Great. As such, I want to at least give props to SmileGate HQ for being able to listen to player feedback on quick notice and, put out stuff like this. If you're here for the news, there you go. But I still like to get into the weeds of things and talk about my thoughts on the last few days. So last Friday, day one of my vacation, I woke up to like 5-6 people messaging me about the worst update to the game so far. I was on vacation, and I wasn't planning on spending it thinking about Epic 7. Do that enough normally. So skip this next part if you're already aware of part 1 of this anime arc. But essentially what happened was they introduced the Awakening Potential system, which is basically like... think about it as like a 7-star system for your favorite characters, right? You're gonna reawaken your heroes, add a whole bunch of base stats, but the crazy part is adding this potential blossom effect where based on your imprint levels, it will add or not add mechanics to your character. And that's where people had a real problem. If you don't know what this is, or if you don't get it, it's like Genshin or Honkai. But, this is gated behind reawakening your characters. And the problem with that is it's tied to your imprint level and to all new units going forth. And when they announced this, people were pissed. I've seen some reactions. People say, oh, they're just overreacting. Oh, they're doom posting. These dang YouTubers, I'll tell you what. They'll always be doom posting for the clicks. Well, I think some of the reactions were, maybe a bit over. Some of them were reasonable. People care for the game, and that's what they're doing their best to try to save the game that they care about. They're passionate, and they really want to channel that positively. And I think you can't really fault people on that, right? For clicks or not. Now, you guys are smart. I think there's a problem in this, and shouldn't really need to explain this, but just in case you haven't realized it yet, in Genshin and Honkai and whatever, that's fine, right? But the moment you include this in a PvP game and you're gating extra mechanics behind having copies of the character, it's Jover. That's not okay. You're automatically setting a ticket for PvP, a ticket of admission, right? And you're telling free-to-play players they can go F themselves and they're not welcome to play in the end game of your video game experience. And that's anyone who wants to play RTA. And you have to buy the ticket of admission, which is now you have to triple S, or at the very least get one imprint of any new character, right? Okay, well now hold on. I hear a lot of people saying in comments already, aren't you exaggerating? You trying to farm those views too? Well, they're only doing this to a few heroes at the time, and some new heroes, right? They can't be that bad. You might be onto something, but here's the problem. SmileGate doesn't like to nerf heroes. The moment they give this to something like a Lua or a Hua-Young level mechanic, right, to a new character, the game's just over. Hua-Young broke the game for damn near 9 months, and Lua is still in the game in her release date, boasting like what? 59% win rate in Legend rank, right, which is the highest competitive echelon in the game, right? And she still hasn't been nerfed. It took Hua-Young endless complaining 9 months just to nerf her, right? Because SmileGate won't nerf something without compensating, right? That's just the precedent that they set for how they want the game to work. And now, even though it's on units like Blue Crow and Alencia, it doesn't look too bad, right? Maybe even Closer Charles is fine, but the moment something stupid like Hua-Young or Lua comes out, the game's just gonna get flushed down the toilet. It's done, right? Nobody wants to play the game. Nobody wants to do that anymore. It's just a playground for whales to flex how much money they spend, right? Drafts no longer matter. And now I know it's a common sentiment. Great, we got no content for this patch, and now I can't, use my favorite hero. I wanted to use Crow, Alencia, whatever, right? But here's the thing. One, I prefer my game slightly stale to completely rotten. Might be just me, right? And if that's not you, that's fair. And two, all of this was under the pretext of, we really want to bring the spotlight on underused heroes, these crowd favorites that people have grown to love. Which, honestly, I don't think that was an issue. And I think it's a little bit dishonest of them to kind of dress this update with that, right? I think for the players, it means they don't have to go back and mola units like Luna or Ludwig from back when they were like good units, right? Back when Luna was a GVG hero, Luna was used for Wyvern 13, and Ludwig was played with the Saria Tamarin cleave. You remember those days, right? Now no new player has to waste 33 Molagoras on Ludwig. I think that's a great change, right? I think now, if people want the option, they can go back and mold these characters if that's just their playstyle, but don't force that onto the new players, right? And I think for SmileGate, that's not an issue either. It just means they can sell new heroes like Kayn, right? You build something like Kayn, now you no longer have to worry about whether or not people are summoning for Tamarin and just using that to clear literally everything in the game. So I think it's really pretentious to say, hey, we're doing this for the players, and then gating the good stuff behind imprints. You're not doing this for the players, you're doing this for the goddamn whales. That's clearly a play to make more money, right? And that's fine. You can make more money. As a company, that's what you're supposed to do, but right, you're trying for so long to build competitive integrity into the game. Now you just broke down all that trust in one fell swoop. Great freaking job. And, on that topic, right, SmileGate's been trying to be more competitive, right? E7WC give out level 88 gear, have story summon system to close the unit pool gap, level out the playing field, and make a gacha game that's as competitive as possible. And I think that's cool, right? But having a system based on imprints just completely derails that entire objective. And I think that's ultimately what's going to do them in. And if you need further proof on why that's bad, case study is Dislight. Community at large there was really excited about their resonance system, right? Which is their version of the awakening potential when that was coming. Until it was applied to, I believe it's Nua, which is, from what I'm told, is their game's version of Lua, right? By just existing, if you have enough imprints, this character can just stun people. Now, a lot of their best RTA players and content creator just left. Boom. That's it. That's all it takes. So, what does that mean for the community? Like you've been talking a lot. Like, what do I do with this information? Well, for now, it does seem like Epic 7 is saved, right? We don't have to deal with the hyper pay to win. I think SmileGate will find other ways to make up for this money that they didn't make here. I think it's evident by the imprint changes, or rather, imprint changing the boss behavior during the summer side story. It's evident by them releasing and re-releasing 11 back-to-back limited and collab heroes during the summer. And it's definitely evident by them putting out Rift, a PvE mode that's so hard, you can't use Tamarin. You gotta summon the new spankin' shiny hero, Kayn. Whoa! Right? And on the vacation, I was hanging out with Divine, my man Divine Shadow 777. We cast tournaments, and he's a game dev. And you guys know what he said? He said something that I didn't even think of, right? Because I did notice these things coming in. He said, you guys are smart, but you guys aren't game devs. I noticed this the moment they put in the third Burning Passion pack into the game. That tells me one thing, and it's that the whales' money's no longer good enough for them. Now they gotta come after the casuals, come after the dolphins, and turn people into minnows. And I think he's absolutely right. In early 2023, I believe, Yuna Kim, the old CEO of SmileGate, she left, and they hired this guy. I believe his name is Sung Joon-ho, right? You guys know what he said? And he was the old head of Netmarble and Nexon, right? in his time. And if, for those of you guys that aren't very aware of the Korean online gaming scene, Netmarble and Nexon is the Korean version of EA Games. Anything they touch, even if it is a good game, will become bogged down by absolutely egregious monetization schemes. And now we're really seeing the effects of his leadership take shape. We talked about earlier, Summer Side Story, consecutive limited banners, Rift, Awaken Potential. They're basically the fruits of his vision. And with the Awaken Potential system canceled, I think for as long as there's his leadership, the boulders already rolling down the hill, right? If you just imagine, there's a hill, the boulders going down it. And it's driven by the forces of gravity. In this case, the analogy is it's capitalism. We're the end users, and while we might be able to divert a path and slow down how fast the boulders tumbling down the hill, right? We can't ever change gravity. You can't change capitalism. SmileGate is a corporation, and they're always going to want to make more money. Now, I'm not going to be like, some people where they're like, and make a grandstand about, I think I'm going to quit E7, right? In fact, I'm going to do exactly not that. I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to play Epic 7 because it's a game I enjoy. I'm going to make videos because I enjoy growing a community for this game. But the moment the monetization reaches a point where it's pay to win instead of right now where it's pay to accelerate your progression, right? Until, you hit that end game soft cap where it's just too hard to make upgrades. The moment it hits that, I'll be looking for the next game to grow a community in, right? I'll be looking for a game that's worthy of having a community in. And if the game is just whales, spend, I don't think that's a fun game. Like, it's not worth growing a community in that game. And the next game, I'll just look for something competitive and fun so we can make competitive and meme content. It's really that simple. And, some of you guys are saying, I already don't feel good about the game. I don't like the direction the game is going. I really hate Rift, right? Those are all comments I've got on stream and DMs, right? Apprehensive about it. I never really liked RTA. And honestly, my best advice to you in that case, if you're not feeling the game, just quit. As much as I would love to get everyone playing the game and for people to watch my content, don't forget, at the end of the day, guys, it's just a video game. There are things in life that are more important than a video game, and do the right thing for yourself. And that's the message to this video. If you're not having fun with the game, move on to something you enjoy. That being said, if you still find E7 fun or good looking, and you're excited for the RTA content coming up, especially with the things we've been, hinting at, we got more tournaments and all that good stuff. Look forward to some fun content if you're still feeling this holiday season. We kind of narrowly avoided disaster, and it kind of is time we celebrate it a little bit. But keep it in the back of your mind. The boulder's already rolling, and there is going to be a point where you're going to have to just dodge and move out the way. And yeah, that's all I have for this video. I hope I never have to make another one of these videos, and as always, thank you for watching till the end. Like, sub, whatever, I don't know. Take it easy and stay safe out there. See ya.